name is Cheryl Hackett. I am the Director of Development at the Wyoming Rescue Mission here in Casper, Wyoming. And Casper is in the center of the state. So we are the state's only full-service shelter. And we provide, of course, I know City Vision staff is familiar with rescue missions, but meals, shelter, case management, counseling, and our recovery program is a full year-long program. And then, excuse me, in the last year, we were blessed to be able to purchase a recovery ranch, 355 acres in the Medicine Bow National Forest, just with breathtaking views of Laramie Peak. So that's certainly been an exciting addition to our recovery program. Um, so before I came to City Vision University, I'll back way up to my previous undergraduate schooling. I was a broadcast journalist. So first as a news reporter for our local NBC affiliate, and then I produced and anchored the morning and noon news. And I left to become a mother. My life was personally impacted by someone very close to me, alcoholism and addiction. And that ultimately ended my marriage of 20 years and also required me to go back to work. So at that time, I had also been hosting part-time a news program called Moms Every Day, but I would just go in one day a month and tape interviews that would run daily. And then I started working part-time for our state's nutrition education program, teaching classes for low-income adults receiving SNAP benefits and teaching classes in Title I schools. And it was there when another nonprofit executive director reached out to me about taking a position as director of development. So with my background in journalism, there's a lot of skills that cross over into development. Obviously, I knew how to write. I could write grants. I knew through interviewing people and meeting people, really those relational building skills that prepared me for a career in development. But I didn't have the formal development training that I really wished I would have had and that I longed for. And so when I was at the Lexington City Gate Conference, our program director introduced me to the City Vision team. Deborah had told me how she had benefited from City Vision classes as a director of development at the Fresno Rescue Mission. And she was especially excited about the Major Gifts and Plan Giving course. And I knew I needed to become a City Vision University student. And so the first course I took was nonprofit fundraising and development taught by Dr. Strissel. And that was really helpful because as a director of development, we all know that we should be writing strategic plans, but carving out the time to get them done is just, that hamster wheel is rolling. And so if it would not have been for the City Vision University course, essentially forcing me to do it, probably it wouldn't have happened. And that was so helpful to take that course and write the development plan. And of course, have Dr. S's mentorship and guidance. And then also took grant writing taught by Dr. S. And that was very helpful as well, especially connecting with learning how to do peer research, looking at other grants peer organizations are receiving. And I think my favorite grant website is called Grant Makers, where you can see what foundations are actually funding and to what amount. So it's a really great way to gauge maybe a request for a foundation. And so how City Vision has helped me personally and professionally and how I serve clients. I remember Dr. Sears said something that might have been in an orientation Zoom about how education for him really provided a pathway out of what might have been an otherwise destructive life. I know he had talked about many of his peers, hopefully I'm correct in saying inner city Kansas City, were making bad choices. And he talked about how he could have easily gone down that road as well, had it not have been for education. And so I feel very strongly that education has always helped me advance toward the goals I have for my life. And I believe it's one of the ways that we reflect the image of God, that we are always growing in wisdom and stature, like Christ did here. And just we can reflect God's image as we grow in our own wisdom and our own education. And so the classes through City Vision, I appreciate them so much. I can't say enough. I think they're very affordable, and I'm so thankful for the partnership that City Vision has with our mission that makes them even more affordable. And I love that classes through City Vision integrate faith throughout everything. So we're learning, but we're learning from a faith perspective, different from, a class maybe taught from someone who is not faith-based. And I also like how I know Isaiah 28:10 talks about precept upon precept and line upon line. I feel that the courses are really arranged in such a way that the readings and the videos and the assignments really build strategically to give us the knowledge that we need and the professional skills. So I talked about grant writing and our fundraising course, and then I took major gifts and planned giving, which was taught by Roy Jones. And I think just the instructors as a whole are all very caring about your students, there for them, not only for help with assignments, but just with my work. I know Dr. S has been a great source of advice, and Roy Jones was a good source of mentorship as well. And then I have been so blessed to have Sandy as my instructor in mentored ministry. And I was so honored to be mentored by Dr. Munn, who I don't think is joining us today. But all of these things have combined to enrich me professionally as well as personally. And I am planning to continue on toward my MBA in executive leadership through City Vision University. I'm a proud CVU student, grad student. And what my goal would be, in addition to serving every day as a mother, just continuing to excel as our team grows. We're raising $3.2 million this year to provide the services we provide for our homeless and hurting guests here. And our team is growing. So the courses have all helped me to be able to lead my team with great confidence. And I aspire to, at some point, hopefully become an executive director of a mission, perhaps, if it's the Lord's will. And then just broadly in our work and with the people I speak with, I believe so strongly that people's lives are touched by addiction and alcoholism in a way that just causes so much destruction. There's so many hurting individuals. And I don't really think there's a lot of resources for families who have a loved one who's struggling with alcoholism and addiction. And so one of my personal goals at some point is to be able to write and speak from my own experiences, both personally and working at the mission, to encourage people who have a loved one who's struggling with this to persevere through trials and stay strong in their faith and continue to maintain hope when they are feeling quite hopeless.